So maybe like a kind of like like you know if you steal something from a store, it's the alarms are going off, right? And isn't that usually like something that magnetizes it, a magnetizing alarm? So what if you? Because usually when you steal something, it's because it's magnetized to the alarm. That's usually what it is. It just the product that you steal is magnetized because it has a magnetized alarm that goes off if like the retailer doesn't scan it or takes it off like a piece of clothing. It has like little fucking hump. They take it off with a magnet. Yeah. Oh yeah. But with China, they've developed an AI system where they can they develop a security system where just by a slight fraction of your eyes, they can tell who you are, where you live, and where you're from, just by the pupil of your eyes. Oh yeah. Mhm. 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 Mm. Mm. Okay. Uh, there's just one thing I'm thinking about a lot is how we have like the aircraft that can fly through like 50,000 feet in the air without being undetected. What's it called? The like the Phantom. What's it called? It's the one like it's like a Dorito shaped. But yeah, so what I've been thinking is, the United States has developed B-52 where it flies up high altitude without being detected by any military. But I have no evidence nor no conclusion to what I think. But what I think is that China is secretly or has secretly developed something more high tech that can overpower their plane that they have been keeping secretly that have secretly kept for in case of a third world war. Now this is just on my skepticism. No, I have no basically on what I think. Uh, um, oh, because we have a lot of bases around the world, don't we? Mm, right. It's like people who notice patterns tend to know the most. Oh yeah. Uh, mm, right. Mm, mm, question. What do you what do you know about the doomsday clock? Okay. So pretty much what they say is like the doomsday clock is let's see what time it is. What time is so it says other reasons cited, including climate change, biological threats such as COVID-19 and risk associated with disinformation and disruptive technologies. On January 28th, 2025, the clock was moved to 89 seconds, 1 minute and 29 seconds before midnight. The closer had been set to the midnight. So pretty much we're uh, 89 seconds to midnight, to which is like pretty much when the time where the world could pretty much obliterate itself. Uh, so pretty much the doomsday clock means it's how close we are to pretty much an apocalypse. There's no, not really. Right. Uh, mm, so, mm, mhm. No, exactly. No. There's an explanation for it. I can't proclaim the exact explanation for it, but what it figures is what it proclaims that it says is the closest we're going to become to a world annihilation, to where I can't even tell you. Maybe from Russia, Korea, and us having nuclear bombs to where the point where we're close enough to nuking each other to the point where the Earth is just a nuclear wasteland. Okay. Well, cause so there's actually in Russia they have a it's called Operation Dead Hand. So, for example, if the world goes into a nuclear war and the United States would send a nuclear warhead to Russia, Russia's nuclear system would detect it, and once they detected it, without any key, like I think it was like 45, 50 warheads, nuclear warheads would be sent out through pretty much the United States, everywhere, and pretty much destroy Earth. Uh, let me see what it's called. Let me give you Russian Operation Dead Hand. So the Soviet Union secretly plotted in, to create the Dead Hand system, designed to launch an automatic retaliatory nuclear strike on the United States, and developed a fearsome biological warfare machine, which is this is, and to this day is still active. So if the United States were to send nuclear strikes to Russia, then Russia would automatically send nuclear strikes back, which pretty much decimate the world. Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Hmm. Or if the United States would develop something that would counter the strikes, if that's even feasible. Hmm. Mm. Anything further? Or I understand. So you think you just yeah. And and based off reading this, I'm sure that the United States would have a counterattack on that dead hand operation. No. Mm, mm, so the doomsday clock isn't a direct prediction. No, no, no. No, it is the. But I do like the way you're thinking. So it says the doomsday clock is a symbolic metaphor maintained by Bolton Bolton of atomic scientists that represents how close humanity is to globally global catastrophe 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 I've been drinking a little bit. Catastrophe 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 catastrophe. The clock's minute hand is set each year to reflect threats like nuclear proliferation, climate change, and disruptive technologies such as artificial intelligence. A setting of midnight symbolizes self-destruction. Uh, mhm. Oh yeah. I understand that, but well, I understand what you're saying, but it's like the West created so many atomic and nuclear bombs to the point where anything could happen at any time in the moment. Which, of course, you can say like nothing's predictable, but we've also created so many bombs to where a conflict could arise, which could decimate the world. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's what happened in 2012. Oh yeah. What happens? Jesus. That that's really strict for me. So my family's Catholic, and I'm 21 years old. I did a lot of research, and I believe in evolution. I believe we came from apes. There are so right now we're Homo sapiens. No, no, yeah, Homo sapiens. Before Homo sapiens, Neanderthals. Before Neanderthals, we were a different type of ape. Before different type of ape, we were a different type of ape. Go on and so forth. So there's no doubt that I believe that Earth was perfectly made for living organisms to evolve. So Earth, what I believe, was created from small asteroids creating a snowball effect. You know how you take a small like a snowball and you roll it down a hill and it creates a big snowball, right? So what I believe is that you Earth began as a small asteroid, flew through space, collecting space rocks, space rock, etc., creating a snowball effect. Eventually, it became something big enough with an atmosphere and able to create microorganisms. Those microorganisms, those microorganisms flew through space, creating big and big, big and big snowball to a point where condensation, heat, weather, whatever, shit came along to the point where they were able to evolve. There was rain, water came through, oceans appeared, and with those oceans, ocean life started evolving. With those ocean lives, the Earth was big enough to have earthquakes. Land started appearing with earthquakes. Land appeared. Some fish came on the surface, came back down. Some fish went on the surface, survived long enough to develop lungs, come back down, breathe down to the water, come back up, and fluid develop lungs. They go up to air, breathe it in, and go back down to the surface. They go back up. Somehow, some way, they get washed up on the surface with air. And since they were able to hold the breath so long underwater, they started developing, adapting legs, come back on the surface, and said, that's how we get tadpoles. Just like tadpoles, frogs, they come from little tiny fishes, develop tails, go to the surface, start breathing air, go back down. They grow legs and arms, go back to the surface. They develop lungs from breathing air, go back down, and then they go back up, and then they just from there on out, they're amphibians. So I strongly believe in it's hard for me to. I was a Catholic. I was baptized from a young age, but maybe like 8 months ago, I started reading into history and into Scientology, which is pretty much uh, uh, the excuse me. Pretty much, we come from apes. There's been apes, like 5 or 6, 7 ape species before us that became uh, uh, Neanderthals. Now, the first apes that were to stand up and walk on first on their 2 legs were the first step to becoming human. But the thing that really mixes me up is how apes nowadays have entered the Stone Age. They started using rocks to break up coconuts. Pretty much using rocks as tools. Pretty much for them as the Stone Age. So, we came from apes, evolutionized humans, Homo sapiens. Apes now, they're going to evolve. Stone Age, They forgot Stone Age. We've taught them sign language. Eventually, they'll be able to teach other apes sign language. Eventually, teach them to a new age. It's just, it's just a difficult topic for me. But it's hard for me to, I believe in religion. I believe in my family. They're Catholics. I was baptized at the age of like 2. When I first turned 21, I started learning about. Uh, I asked ChatGPT where humans came from. I started doing a lot of research. I started reading a lot of books, a lot of scientific research saying that we came from apes. A lot of research came into it. I mean, there's a lot of research that came into Jesus Christ, and there's a research saying that they have a cloth of Jesus Christ's face, and his sweat and blood and tears put onto the cloth. And they say that they found his grave and this and that, but in my opinion, I think religion was a belief system to make people to have people to create a purpose for people at the time, to make them create and encourage them to. So here's a theory. So let's say you have 3 apes. Okay, you put a ladder, right? And on top of the ladder you put a banana. One ape goes up to the banana, and you wash him with water. You spray him with water, right? He falls down. Okay, so he's like, "What the fuck just happened?" So another ape, the other ape goes up to the ladder, climbs the ladder, tries to grab a banana, gets sprayed with water, falls down. The third ape climbs up the ladder, tries to get the banana, and he gets sprayed with water. So you take the first ape, replace him with a new ape. So the new ape tries to climb the ladder, and one out of the 2 apes that was there pulls him down because they knew he was going to spray with water. They pull him down and beat him. They replace one out of the 2 original apes with a new ape. The new ape climbs the ladder. The 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 apes drag him down the ladder, beat him up, and then they replace the last original ape, with a new ape. So there's 3 new apes. The third new ape climbs up the ladder and tries to get the banana. The 2 apes drag him down and beat him up. They replace one of the 2 old apes, with a new ape. So now there's 2 apes and 1 old ape, and 1 old ape. The new ape climbs up the ladder, tries to get the banana, and they both gang up on him and drag him down a ladder. so on and so forth. So, so on and so forth. Let's say there's three new apes. Each one learned from the last ape's mistake. Right, so we have two apes that know what happens if one ape comes to the ladder. They all get splashed. Okay, they all get splashed. So, at this point, when a new ape climbs the ladder, the old apes drag him down and beat him up. Because they know that if that new ape gets a banana, then they get splashed. I'm going to explain you to a different way. We have three apes on a ladder, and the banana on top of the ladder. One ape climbs the ladder, gets a banana. The two apes at the bottom get soaked, get hosed down with water. They remove the ape that got the banana with a new ape. The new ape climbs the ladder, gets a banana, and the two apes at the bottom get splashed with water. They remove the ape that got the banana with the new ape. So, the new ape climbs the ladder, tries to get the banana, and the two apes, before he gets to the top, drag him down, beat him up. Because they know what happens if he gets up to the banana. They get soaked. Beat him up. They replace one of the old apes with a new ape. That one new ape climbs up the ladder. They drag him down, beat him up. Doesn't know why. They beat him up. So then the new ape says he understands. Well, if I come up the ladder, I'm gonna get beat up. Fine. So there's one out of the three remaining apes, original apes. The one out of the one out of the three original apes gets removed, replaced with a new ape. Now the ape that got beat up understands if I climb up the ladder, I'm gonna get beat up. So the new ape comes in, climbs the ladder. The old ape drag him down, beat him up. The old ape gets replaced with the new ape. So the next ape, there are two apes. A new ape climbs the ladder. The old ape, knowing what's gonna happen, if he comes the ladder, drags him down, beat him up, so on and so forth. So what I'm trying to say is, this can continue on to the point where the ape doesn't know why they're dragging a new ape down and beating him up. So, for instance, let's say I'm the new ape. I come up and you were the old apes, and when the third ape climbed the ladder and got the banana, they got soaked in water. I got replaced. Let's say I'm a new ape. I come up the ladder, and the two apes drag me down, beat me up, just so the two apes wouldn't get washed and sucked in water. So every time an ape is switched, the new ape would learn, well, if he climbs the ladder, we need to drag him down and beat him up, right? So the next ape comes. So we need to do when the next ape comes the ladder, drag him down and beat him up to the point where there's three different apes. One climbs the ladder, then the other two drag him down, beat him up to the point where they don't know why they're dragging him down the ladder and beating him up. And that's the way I think of religion is just it's forgotten. It's just a repetitive. It's repetitive. Like it's like the way you pray to God is like why I pray to Him. Why do I pray to? Why does my family believe in Catholic? Why does my family? Why am my family Catholic? Why is my family Christian? Why is my family Jewishism? So I believe that religion is based off of not knowing what. Okay, this one is. Yo, hello. Why is this motherfucker asleep, bro? That's cool, bro.